Hello Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your past, present, as well as your future, and then we're going to see the ultimate outcome of your current situation. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. So in the past, we do have the Empress out here. I'm getting a lot of growth and expansion. Yeah, you definitely experienced a lot of growth and expansion here in the recent past. So this could definitely represent your business taking off, your career taking off, or something else that's growing and evolving in your life. Like, for example, a relationship with someone. But we're going to look into the Empress a little bit more just to see what else we can get here. But before we do, let's look at your current energy for Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Venus. So we do have the Sun. Very, very nice. I feel like this has a lot to do with this energy over here in the recent past. You know, because you were experiencing growth and expansion in a department in your life, whether it has everything to do with your business, your career, or possibly even a relationship with someone, it's bringing in a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, Virgo. Now let's look at your energy in the near future. For Virgo, Sun, Rising, and Venus in the near future, we have the Knight of Pentacles. That Knight of Pentacles energy. I feel like you're trying your hardest to stay focused, Virgo. I am definitely getting that. It's like you're trying your hardest to stay extremely focused. But I feel like there's definitely something in the near future that might create a level of distraction for you. But I feel like you're trying to stay extremely focused and consistent and persistent. But I feel like something might end up distracting you in the near future, of course, if you allow it to. But let's look at this Empress energy here in the recent past. Okay, so we have the Judgment card. We also have the Nine of Swords. And then we also have the Ten of Cups out here. So in the recent past, it looks like there was a connection that showed up here for you. Now, this connection that showed up here for you was definitely, you know, with someone that you saw yourself, you know, having this happily ever after with. But Virgo, I just kind of feel like the more serious things became between the two of you, the more full of anxiety you started to basically experience on your behalf. Because I'm just getting an energy of you being like just full of anxiety over this connection that showed up here for you. I think that things between you and this person could have started to like grow at a very rapid pace, because I'm definitely getting that things definitely grew and evolved between you and this person more than likely at a very, very rapid pace. I just kind of feel like there's like a variety of different things going on as to why you had so much fear and anxiety over this connection. I feel like it has a lot to do with how fast things just grew and evolved between the two of you. I also feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that you just didn't see this coming. You just did not see this coming, Virgo. So a lot of you feel, you know, extremely caught off guard, I would say, by this connection. All right, let's look at the Sun. But needless to say, you know, this is a connection, you know, that, like I said, Virgo does bring a lot of happiness and a lot of joy and emotional satisfaction into your life. You know, I feel like this is you deciding to just take it day by day and not worry yourself to death or but what if this happens and what if that happens? Because the Nine of Swords can definitely represent somebody who's very worried and concerned about the future and but what if this happens and what if that happens? So I like the fact that you're deciding to remain grounded. I like the fact that you're deciding to think nothing but good things when it comes onto this person. Just kind of take it day by day, because I feel like you constantly worrying yourself to death about but what if this happens and what if that happens is kind of robbing you from, you know, experiencing this connection the way that you were supposed to experience it all along, which is, you know, you just simply taking it day by day and just enjoying yourself along the way. So with that being said, Virgo, you're not allowing this fear and this anxiety to like rob you of the present moment anymore, because you're making the choice to just live in the present moment and remain grounded and just kind of take it day by day and think nothing but good things when it comes down to this person. Of course, until they give you a reason, you know what I mean, to become very worried and concerned, because this to me feels like an energy of you being worried and concerned over things that may not even happen. So that's another thing too, Virgo. But let's look at this Knight of Pentacles energy. Okay. Virgo, in the near future, it looks like you're having a very difficult time creating the art of balance in your life. I feel like there's other things that you want to like focus on and prioritize, as well, like your career, your business if you have one, your education, things of that nature. But I feel like this relationship between you and this person is definitely creating a level of distraction, for you. I just kind of feel like you just got so used to just solely focusing on you, your business, your career, your growth, and your expansion without any sort of distractions in your life. But now this person's in your life, and it looks like you do want to go off and pursue a life with them. You're having to create that art of balance in your life, and it looks very challenging, and difficult for you as far as like creating the art of balance in your life is concerned. But Virgo, I feel like you will eventually adapt and adjust to obviously life with this person in it. But I feel like you will eventually create that art of balance in your life. This to me just kind of feels like you're finding it extremely hard to like establish that art of balance, because there's other things that you want to make room for. Like your goals, the things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself, your business if you have one, your growth, your expansion, things of that nature. And it just kind of looks like you're finding it very hard to like have those things coexist in your life while also focusing on them in a relationship, with them. That's basically what I'm getting. But you'll eventually get the hang of it, and you will eventually establish the art of balance in your life, Virgo. But let's see the ultimate outcome. We have the King of Swords, okay, with the Nine of Cups. I see. Virgo, I feel like another reason why it's going to be so hard for you to like make room for the things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself while also focusing on them and your life with them and building towards a life that you truly want to desire with them is concerned, has a lot to do with your person. Okay. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with this person not having like goals of their own, but I'm kind of feeling like that's like the problem here, Virgo. I just feel like there's so many things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself, and it kind of looks like there's nothing that this person's really aiming towards as far as like a goal is concerned. This person comes off to me as somebody who's like very happy and content with where they're at in life. So, currently at the moment, does this person have goals? No, they don't have goals. Maybe they've already accomplished and achieved everything that they wanted to accomplish and achieve. That's a possibility. But I feel like because this person doesn't really have any goals, or there's nothing that this person's like really striving for, I feel like they have more time on their hands than you do, if that makes any sense. I'm also getting like a very clingy energy coming from this person. So, this is that type of person, Virgo, that's going to want to spend every waking moment with you. But it's kind of hard for you to spend every waking moment with them when there's things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself. You see what I mean? So I do feel like this person and the way that they are may make it a little challenging for you to like make room for other things to coexist in your life, like goals that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself, your education, things of that nature. I just kind of feel like if this person was striving towards something, or if there was like a goal that they wanted to accomplish and achieve for themselves, it'll make this whole transition and process for you a little bit more easier. But because there is no goals that this person is trying to accomplish and achieve for themselves, they have nothing but time. And it kind of looks like with the spare time that they do have, it's like they rather spend it with you. You see what I mean? They rather spend it with you. So I feel like that's kind of why this whole like process for you as far as like establishing the art of balance is concerned is going to be a little bit more challenging and hard for you, because Virgo, for one, I just kind of feel like you're the type of person that was basically living your life prior to obviously meeting them, solely focusing on you and your goals and things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself without a relationship in your life, without having to make room for a whole nother person. But now that obviously that's changing, well, you're having to adjust and adapt to those changes, and allow this person, your relationship with them to coexist in your life, as well as other things like your goals and things like that. But as you're learning to establish the art of balance when it comes down to that, you're also dealing with what you're dealing with, as far as like them being very clingy, them wanting to spend every waking moment with you, things like that. So I just kind of like, that's kind of why it's also going to be very hard and challenging for you, because it looks like it's already hard and challenging for you because you're so used to focusing on one thing at a time. But now that you're having to focus on them and your goals, or them and your career, them and your business, them and your education, like it's a huge adjustment. Yes, but now you also have to like deal with having to make room for them as well as your education, or them, and your education, as well as them wanting to spend every waking moment with you. You know what I mean? Them being very, very clingy. So it's just kind of making this whole transition for you that much more challenging. But I'm not really worried and concerned. About it. This entire situation requires you to establish some boundaries, Virgo, because realistically speaking, just because they have more time on their hands doesn't necessarily mean, Virgo, that you should spend every single waking moment with this person, when you know that there's things that you have to do. That there's things that you have to accomplish and achieve for yourself. And in order for that to essentially happen, you have to, establish boundaries with this person, Virgo, because if you don't establish boundaries with this person, you're going to delay the whole process of accomplishing and achieving these things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself. Okay, so you're going to have to establish boundaries with this person, because technically speaking, no, you can't spend every waking moment with them. Like, on the spare time that you do have when you're not working, you might want to focus on, a goal that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself, or your education, for those of you who are currently in school. So no, you can't spend every waking moment with them. And this is why I say that you're going to have to really establish boundaries with this person, Virgo, because if not, it's just going to delay the whole process of you accomplishing and achieving the things that you want to accomplish and achieve for yourself. All right, so that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped, hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.